Alright, okay, so let's get started. Let's get started. Let's get started. Alright, so this is US 30 as we have on the screen, as daily time frame we have on the screen. And if we check on the daily time frame, we can see that it is in the white state. US 30 is in the white states, so as NAS. NAS is also in the white states. If we go to SPS as well, we can see that SPS is also in the white states. So once it gets into the white states, we know it will surely pull back to the narrow states. So I believe that is what has started today. If we don't get a reversal going up again, then we should be prepared to be selling. So this is the daily time frame. So we go to the 2 minutes time frame, then we'll see what we can find there. This is SPY. Okay. Good afternoon, Molly. Welcome, welcome, welcome. All right. So currently on here on US 30, it's pulled away. So if we need to look for a position, an entry, we need to wait for it to come near to the moving average. Okay, so I put how to get profit from trading. Okay, let me go through the strategy quickly before we continue, in case we have any new people watching, or any new person who will watch it later could take advantage of it. Alright, so what we need in going through this strategy is the charts, as we can see here. So we need a chart, and then we also need the 20 moving average, 20 simple moving average. We also need the 200 simple average, and also we have the 50 exponential moving average on here. So the way we use this to make money is we look at where price is. If price is below the 20 moving average, we look to sell. We look for sell opportunities, or we short the market. And when price is above the 20 moving average, we look to buy. We look for buy, or we go long in the market. Okay, so we have a good example here. So here, price is above this blue line, the moving average. So we look for buy opportunities to go long. So if price is above the moving average, we look for buys. And if it's also above the 200 moving average, that's the ideal condition to buy. In the same way, if price is below the 200 moving average, so as the the 20 and the 50, if they are all below that's the best situation for selling. Okay, so that said, we also have to look at the state of the market. This is a very quick rush through of the strategy. I believe you get the understanding as I go on. So we also look at the state of the market, and then we use the blue line to determine the state of the market. Whenever all the three moving averages comes together, including price, just like we have here, where they are near or in the narrow state. This is what we call the narrow state. We look for opportunities here to go higher or below, go down. So this is what is the narrow state, and then from the narrow state, price moves into the wide state, then from the wide state it comes back to the narrow state. It will start the process again. So from narrow state to wide state, then back to narrow state to wide state, and then back to narrow. Okay. So if we go on the higher time frame, if you go on the this is US 30, you go on the daily chart, we can see this picture there. Good afternoon, Lisa. Welcome. So this is US 30 in its wide state. So this was the narrow state. This is the daily time frame. This was the narrow state. So from the narrow state, it's moved to wide state. So when we say wide state, we are just referring to when there's a gap between the 200 moving average and the 20 moving average. You can see there's a wide gap between these two. So as it is clearly here that US 30 and all the indices are in a wide state currently on the high time frame. So if this begins to pull below the 20 moving average, we look for sales to the downside. That's on the smaller time frame. But if you're okay to catch this on the higher time frame, you could manage, but ideally this is in an upward trend, so there's a possibility that it will pull down all the way. It can come down all the way to somewhere here where it will meet the 200, or it could go further down. So we could prepare ourselves and then ride with it as it moves. But on the smaller time frame, we'll see this coming through as the sales will begin from there on the smaller time frame. So as I was saying, this clearly is in the wide state. So from the 200 moving average to where the blue line is wide, and then from here from where the blue line is to where price got to, there's also some space there. So we can also see some space from here to where price got to. So that's why price is pulled back to the moving average. So if it wants to continue going higher, it could just play around this area, then turn around and make its way up, just as it was in a wide state here. It was in a wide state at this level and then pulled back to the moving average. So in this strategy, we only take advantage of entries when price pulls back to the moving average or near. Like over here, it came near to the moving average compared to where it got to here, and then compared to this side. So it was near to the moving average. And as I've said before, that the 20 moving average, as we see here, is not just this skinny line, it is a zone. So it could be from here or this side. So if you find price below it, it doesn't mean it has totally gone out or gone below, gone out of it. So that's one thing we have to bear in mind. You have to bear in mind of that. Good afternoon, Tembi. Welcome, welcome. Yeah. So that's the how to go about with the state of the markets in relation to playing this strategy. So as we can see on the daily, it is in a wide state. So there's a high probability that it could pull back. Then we can ride with it as it pulls back. So currently, price is below the moving average. So at this point here, it was in a narrow state. Price was in the narrow state this morning before the news came in, and then it dropped with this power. So I know the way this the news came in, it was with much power that if you were even on the charts, you couldn't have easily entered into it before all this happened. If you even saw it and then want to enter, it would have been, you'd have caught it somewhere here. But nevertheless, it still kept dropping, and now it's still dropping. So as I said, this was in a narrow state as it was moving sideways or in the trading range. So at this point in time, when it was in the trading range, because in the trading range you don't know exactly which direction is picked on, because it moves up it moves from one level to the other, that's without making any highs, continuous making higher highs. So as we can see, it was in a range from this point onwards. So as I've mentioned before, if it's in a range, you don't use this strategy. If it's in a range, you use a different strategy where you pick it up from the top of the range to the base of the range, and then from the base of the range to the top. So over here, if anyone was playing that strategy where he picked up from the top of the range, maybe you could have enjoyed this move down. But as I said, I mostly don't like trading the news, because what happens sometimes is you might not even see it happening, and just within a split of second things will tend to the other way. So I try always to avoid trading the news and even the openings. That's why I was telling you the other day I don't like trading the market opening. But it looks as if today, when the market opened, the news has already done what it wants to do. So there wasn't much movement. There wasn't much movement in the when the market opened at all. So it just this was the candle. This was the half past 2 candle that moved up and down a little bit, and then it turned around to push down. So yeah, so as I've said, when it's in a trading range, you just try to avoid not using the strategy, the buying it when it's below and then selling it when it's above. Okay, so I believe that is gone in well or seated well with us. Okay, so over here we have the, as I said, we have the price below the 20 moving average. So this time around, when it came near to the 20 moving average, that was the time to get some positions to sell. So as the purple candle, or you might have a red candle on your chart, took out the low of the last green candle, that's where we get involved. That's where we enter a trade to come down. So as I said, if price is below the 200 moving average, price is below the 20 moving average and the 50 moving average, we look for sales. So that's where you could have taken advantage of this entry here, and then once you get in, your stop loss is above here. Your stop loss is above here. So guys, just to let you know that your stop loss that you put in place during news time, it doesn't really work because of the speed at which price moves. You might get your stop loss being overrated. The price could just go through it like that. So we all have to be very careful. Just to, if you are not ready, just not avoid trading the news time and the market open times. It's always good to trade when everything is calmed down, and then you can pick some opportunities and then trade with it. That's why I moved our session from 12 to after the market opens, so that by this time we will have some quiet time in the markets that we could spot some opportunities and then take advantage of. Just like yesterday, we were all expecting price to move up during the session that we had, but unfortunately that didn't happen until we finished our session, when the markets opened and closed. I think after 30 minutes or so, it began moving to the direction we're anticipating to trade to. Let me just see if we can spot that area. Yesterday was Tuesday. Okay, yeah, this is the shaded parts we have. Okay, not this one. This is today. Okay, yesterday was Monday. Okay. Yeah, so yesterday we were here trying to look for the buy opportunity, which didn't take place during our live session. This move started after we finished. So I know some of us took advantage of it, as I also did. This is where the market open came around, and there was a bit of up and down movement. So when it settled down a little bit, this started moving. So I caught this somewhere here as it moves up, and then I close it at the previous high when price got to this previous high. If I should put across a ray, okay, so this was the move that during our session yesterday we're looking to get on, but it didn't happen until we finished the session. So as I said, I got involved somewhere here, and then rode it up until it got to this high, this previous high, and then I came out. So when I came out, it pushed up a bit and then turned around as it was in a wide state. So as we can see, it's moved from this narrow state, to a wide state here. So from the wide state, price turned around to the narrow state again, then continued downwards. So as we can see on here, so it's the same thing that we look out for all the time. We look out for the same thing over and over again. So as you can see, compared to how we were struggling at the narrow state yesterday, as we were trying to get an entry here yesterday, I think we got stopped out on a number of occasions, but price, before it went up, it pulled down, forming this a small area of consolidation or trading range, then began to push up. So as I said, if after a consolidation or trading range and price is going up, it will normally pull down below the area of consolidation, as it did here. It will normally pull down to the area of below the area of consolidation before it pops up, going to its direction that it wants to go. So over here we can see price got above the moving average here. It got above the moving average here with some power. That's when the market opened. And then made its way below the moving average. So all this area that we can see is still the moving average area, especially it's in between the 50 and the 20 moving average. And this is where this comes into play. Whenever you see the 20 cross above the 50 moving average, 50 exponential moving average, what we expect is we expect price to pull back whenever there's a crossover. So we can see that there is a crossover here. The blue line crossed above the yellow line. So once this happens, we expect price to pull back. So this was the pullback. So around this pullback, all you have to do is to look for an opportunity to enter. So this is where this is one opportunity where price, the green candle, took out the last purple candle, and then again we had another opportunity here. It took out the last purple candle here. So this is our entry. Our stop loss goes here. And then from here it went all the way up. So if price is ready to move, it's moved more or less smoothly as we see here. But if it's in a consolidation mode, we don't. If you can stay away from it, or just monitor it and then look for the last last opportunity where you can see moves like this with a big bull candle surging off the 200 moving average. You can see this big bull power candle surging off the 200 moving average. When you see this, when you see this happen, you can go in as well because of this big bull candle from the 200 moving average upwards. The same way, if you see a big bear candle surging off the 200 moving average downwards, it's also an opportunity to get into. Okay, so currently, let's see what's happening currently on the charts. Let's see what is happening currently on the charts. Okay. So with all this, price is still below the 200 moving average. It's just in between the 50 moving average and the 20. So we will not just look for entries to go up at this point in time. If there's anything like that, we have to have price and the 200 and the moving averages above the 200 moving average. That's where we have the confidence to do that. But currently, with all that is going on and with what we know, the state of the market, even on the daily, it is in a wide state. So if it is in a wide state, you avoid continuing buying from there. So I can see prices here. Let's see on NAS. Okay, NAS is far gone now. NAS is far gone. Going to the blue, the 200 moving average. Going to the 200 moving average. But we'll see. Maybe. So at the moment we're not sure of exactly what price is up to do, as we are in a narrow state. This is the first pullback. Oh, I've got a lot of things on my charts making it unclear. Okay, that's better. So now we have price in its wide state. This is NAS. So it's been in the wide state. NAS came to touch the blue line and it's pulling back. So maybe it's not done buying yet. So we'll see what happens from here. But we will not be in a rush to get into this. We will not be in a rush to get into it. So now, at the moment, it's still the momentum to going up is still high, even though it's in a wide state. So we'll look out and see what better opportunity we can take advantage of. So yeah, so this a better example. So over here we can see the 50 moving average. Price is below the moving averages, and then the 50 and the 20 crossed over. The blue line crossed below the 50 moving average. So whenever this happens, what we expect is price pulling back to the moving average, and then we look for opportunities there. So perhaps you saw this happening and then maybe you were thinking, oh, it's going up. It's not. First of all, price is still below the moving average, and then after this crossover, what mostly happens is price pulls back. So that's why I always say we do this with understanding. So when you see this, you understand that this is likely to happen. So that's what happened over here. That is what happened here. So as I've said before and over again, I can show you numerous examples of this strategy where you trade with the 20 moving average. You don't trade against it. If the 20 moving average is pointing downwards, you also trade downwards. If it's pointing upward, you trade upward with it. So if you want to go and review most of your trades which you have done, that maybe you had some drawdowns there, you will notice that most of them you are either trading against the 20 moving average, where price was below it and you were expecting price to cross to go to the upside, and then it turned around, continued going down. Yeah, so we have to be very careful about that, and then avoid, if we're able to avoid that, we could expect to have the win rate of at least 85% win rates with this strategy. So with that said, that's why I always say we don't really know what will actually happen whenever we take in a trade, because we take the trade based on a high probability. So whatever analysis we do it to get a high probability in order to get into a trade. So even at that, before you get into it, you don't even know whether you win or you lose until the market proves you otherwise. That's why I always say that I assume I'm wrong when I get into a trade until the market proves me otherwise. Yeah. So as we have here, it's been pushing down after this big push down. So normally after a move like this, you would expect price to consolidate for some time before you can see another big move. So I suspect that is exactly what might happen here. Price will find a place to consolidate. Like now, it's like it's picked this high. It has picked this high point. Now it's gotten to this area, and then this was the low that it's made, and it hasn't. You can see the size of the candle, that it's kind of tired, or there's no much momentum in the market. So you can box it in like this. So long as price is in this box, you kind of stay away from it. If it has to go up, you might see something like this coming through. Price might do this, do that, do this, do that, do this. Sometimes pull back out of it a little bit, come back into it. So if it has to continue downwards, you might find that it will do this and then pop out a bit, and then boom, off it goes. Off it goes. So the same thing applies if it's going to turn upwards. The same thing applies if it's going to turn upwards. So now all we have to do is keep our eye on here. If price gets out of this box, then we look out for an opportunity to go to the upside. Now, as we can see, it looks like it's being held up by the blue moving average. So if it's held up by the blue moving average, then we'll look to get an opportunity to go up. We'll look to get an opportunity to go up. So let's see. So NAS is more or less on the move. NAS is more or less on the move back to the upside. And if we compare where NAS got to, let's see, and on the daily time frame, so if we can see where NAS got to this point, let's change to US 30. US 30 also go to the same point. SPS did not even touch the moving average yet, but if you see where NAS got to, almost the same as US 30. So if NAS is pulling back, there's a high probability that US 30 will follow suit, that it's also going to pull back. So let's watch out on the markings that we have done on there. Probably we could, if we had seen it on time, or if I think it happened before we started the NAS trade. It happened before we got started. Okay, this move started around 3:15. So if we had seen it earlier, probably we might have gotten in to see how we could have taken advantage of this. So as we can see, price pulled above the moving average. It looks like it got held by the 20 moving average before shooting up. So I believe as NAS is already on the move back to where it started from, US 30 will follow suit. US 30 will follow suit. So on US 30, we put it in this box here. So just have to watch out for this. Watch out for this as it pulls out or gets taken out by the green candle, takes out the purple candle, and we see how this momentum is. We could maybe hop on and then see how it will take us. But yeah, so we'll just wait and see. Patience is the key. We'll wait and see what comes out of it. So currently its price is being held by the 20 moving average. 20 moving average. So on the video I did on YouTube about picking bottoms, this is one of the conditions, that when price is held by the 20 moving average, then we get an entry. So one of the conditions is we have space. There's a wide space between the red moving average and also the space between the 200 and where price is. There's space here. There's also space here. So as we can see, we have dual space. dual space. So these are the conditions that we look out for if you want to pick out bottoms. Yeah. So all we have to do is to wait and wait and wait. Wait to see what happens. So as things stands, there's been already a big move down. So there could be a chance that price is going to just play around here until it's ready to move again. That's consolidates around this area before it's ready to do anything tangible. Or it could be that it will turn around and begin pushing up as NAS is already doing that. So even on the NAS one, we could also look for an opportunity as price pulls back near to the moving average, because that's the only place we can take advantage. When it's in the nice wide state from the moving average, we don't engage a buy or sell from there. So the safe ones are those ones that are close or near to the moving average. Those are the best ones that we can identify. Those are the best ones we can identify. Alright, let's look at NAS. Okay, so NAS is here. So if it's still going up, we really missed this out. It's quite a nice move, nice smooth move up that we could have taken advantage of at this point. Could have taken advantage of it at this point. Our stop loss goes somewhere here. Yeah. Does any of you have any question to ask? You can put it in the chat. If you have a question, put it in the chat, please. So what may happen is we actually know exactly what we are looking for in terms of the state at which price is in now. So it came to this wide state. NAS came to this wide state, and now it's pulled back to the narrow states. It's gotten to where the 200 is. So it might happen that it's just waiting for the 20 to get there or come close. Then its next move would happen. Or what could happen is price will pull back to the to the 20. Then, but if it pulls back to 20, we have opportunity to either take a buy, but preferably if we get it above, if we have what does this thing keeps on writing? If we have a price pulling up above the 200, price pulling up above the 200, and the 20 moving average also crossing above it. That will be the ideal condition to go in for a buy. But nevertheless, if price pull back to the 20 moving average at this point, looking at the momentum at which it is pushing up, it might pull back to this area again or go beyond it. So because this was a news item that dropped price here, so mostly it does recover when this happens. If I go on the daily time frame, we could see a number of them that happened, and then there was a pullback for price to continue where it was going. Good afternoon, Peter. Welcome on board. So as I was saying, if you go on the daily, we can see that things like this happened in the past. Price got to this high, pulled back to the moving average, and then turned around and pushed up. It got to this high, pushed down to this moving average, and then turned around and pushed up. So as it is now, there's a high chance that it could turn around and then push up, because this is the daily. If we look at the 4 hours, the 4 hours has already started with a green candle. The 4 hours has already started with a green candle. But the only thing is, it's way below the 20 moving average. So we cannot certainly say we can take advantage of it at the moment. If you're talking in terms of the 4 hour, but if on the smaller time frame, we could take advantage as all of them start from all the moves start from the smaller time frame until it gets to the higher time frame. So if it's truly going to go up, we will first of all see it on the smaller time frame before it gets to the higher time frame. Let's see what US 30 is doing. Okay, so US 30 is still in this area. It's still in this area. Still here, and it's being held up. It's being held up by the 20 moving average. It's being held up by the 20 moving average. So with as things stands, and then the way we have seen NAS move up, so as all these indices, they move together. So I think we could just put in you can either wait as price come out of this box and then you take advantage of it, or you can put in a small size and then your stop loss goes in here in case that doesn't work out. But if it works out, you'll be in from this point. So as we can see, price has already taken out this last purple candle, and then it's being held up by this blue line, the 20 moving average. So I will say I will just take a small size, reduce them, and then see how it plays out. If it doesn't work out, fine, my stop is there to take care of that. If it works out good, I'll be in it earlier. So let's see if it will give me a bit of pullback. If not, I will just jump into it here. So I'll jump into it here. My stop loss will go below here. So we'll wait and see what happens. But if you want to play it very safe, if you want to play it safe, just wait as price get out of this box, get maybe up above here, then come back for a test around this area, then you can look to get into it. So as we can see, it pulled back again. So yeah, it could be playing around here for some time before it finally pushes up, but we don't know exactly what will happen, but that's the scenario we can build around it. The scenario we can build around it. So if we want to go through the PCT test, let me write it down here. PCT test. So currently you can see price is above the moving average, so that one we can take it. If you talk of the dominant color, you can see from this point on, the dominant color, before it moves above the moving average, the dominant color is green. So we have a tick on it as well. Then the trend. So on the side of the trend, we can see the blue line arching up. It looks arching up on the side of the trend. So I think we have a tick there as well. So talking in terms of the pre-entry test, we have 3/3. So once we have this, it's a pass. It's a pass. But the only concern, or the only thing we waiting to see it's if it's going to consolidate or it's going to move up straight as NAS has done. As NAS has done. So you just have to play it safe as much as possible. All you have to do is just sit and wait until you are okay with how things are looking. Until you are okay with how things are looking. Again, as I said, we don't really know what will happen in each trade we take. So that's why we always put our protection in case it doesn't work out the way we anticipated. Then we get out before it goes on and on and on. Okay, Barb is asking what's the stop loss. So the stop loss mainly goes just below the area you entered. So over here, okay, if you're asking me the number, let me see. It is 38263. 38263. That's where I place my stop loss. That is where I place my stop loss. So let's quickly look at NAS. I think there's something cooking up there. Okay, we have NAS. Come back to the blue line. Now it's looking like it wants to take out, or it has taken out the last candle here. So on that note, I will go in for so as I said, this whole area happens to be under the blue line area. So you can either wait until it is fully above there, or if it's above, then you can take a position there. Just for the sake, I'll just wait for price to get above the moving average, then I'll look to enter on here. But technically I would have loved to get in here as it takes out the last purple candle. That's where I would have loved to get into it. But just to be sure of you just following the process. If you want it above it, that's fine. So for us to get a better understanding, just as I was explaining before, whenever the reason why this is happening, as we all are aware, and the reason why this is still in the zone of the blue line is that price came, the blue line crossed above the yellow line. So once there's a crossover, we expect a pullback. So this is the pullback, and once you get the pullback, you can also take advantage of the price being taken out here. You can take advantage of this. So the understanding is price, the moving averages have crossed over, and when there's a crossover, we expect a pullback, and when there's a pullback, we take advantage of the events that happens there. So this is the events that we can see here. The events that we can see here. The purple candle has been taken out by the green candle. So that's the event we see here. I think US 30 has also started its move. Yes. So we are already in profit here. We are already in profit here. We are already in profit on US 30. And then in profit on NAS as well. We are in profit on NAS. Yeah. We are in profit on NAS. Yeah. So looking at the way things are, US 30 is kind of being held at this high, the previous high it got before it pulls back. So we just hope it will just take out this previous high and then do its thing upwards. And do its thing upwards. Do its thing upwards. We are in profit, we are in profit, we are in profits. On both of them, on NAS and US 30, we are in profit on both of them. So as price is a little bit too close to the entry, so I'll wait a little bit and then I'll move my stop loss above my entry, just to avoid being kicked out too early. Just to avoid being kicked out too early. So guys, it's the same process we follow every time we are looking for opportunities. It's the same process. It's the same process we follow every time we are looking for opportunities. So just as I said, it's still playing in the box, so we might sometimes it might go this way and then pull back. If it's not ready to move yet, it could pull back back to this low, but which we don't know yet. But we are already in it, and looks like it's pushing up higher. That is what we want. That is what we want. So let it push higher and higher and higher. Amazing stuff. Amazing stuff happening now. So guys, what I want you to try and do is, whenever you find price in consolidation or trading range, just try to avoid trading in there, because sometimes those are the areas we tend to lose out our profits more. Because when you're using the strategy to trade in a trading range, or when it's consolidating, things might not work out as it should, and then you find out that price will go up and then come retrace all the way back to your entry, or even hit you at your stop loss, go up again, come back. So it's not an ideal place to be trading. So just scan the charts properly and know where it is, and then you take advantage of. So the reason why we got into this is because price is in its wide state. So, and we know that from the wide state it goes back to the narrow state, then continues like that again. So that's why we got into it. So hopefully we enjoy a good run, or whichever amount we get out of it, we take it and thank God for it. It is money. We take it and thank God for it. With that said as well, so if you are using the trading range strategy and then you've boxed it like this, if price gets here, you entered here and the price gets to this top, you are taking your profit here. Don't be in a trading range and then you expect price to give you more than that level. When it's ready to move out of that box, you will find that it will easily move out of it. But so long as it's within that box, the top could be your profit target. You enter here at the low of it and you take your profit at the top of it. And then if you have a setup at the top as well, you enter at the top, you take your profit at the low of it until there's a change that you could take advantage of as well. So currently it looks like it's being held here. So it's giving me some space to just move my stop loss. I'll just move it just to break even. I know if it's pulling back, it could kick me out in no time, but that is much better than going into negative. Once it kicks me out, I can look for another opportunity to enter. Does anyone have any question? Okay. Okay, thank you. Look at yours. Thank you for this. Oh, okay, that's Bav. You're welcome, Bav. Yes, when and how often do you have this kind of? Oh, right. Okay, Peter is asking how often do I have this? So I'm trying to do it every day anyway. So we normally we're doing it before the market opens. But today I changed the time to do it after the market opens, which I find it to be much better than doing it before market opens. Yeah, which one is this? Okay, NAS is kind of pulling back a bit. NAS is kind of pulling back a bit, but it seems US 30 is holding up. We want US 30 to hold up and push higher. And just follow what NAS has been doing. Take the footsteps of NAS and run. Since we couldn't enjoy this 100 meters race that it took us through, we want to go through the much slower ones, which is much better. So we'll wait and see what happens. So Did anyone take the trade as well? Did you take the trade with me as well? Put it in the chat if you took the trades that we took. Put it in the chat. Let me know if you took the trades as well. Okay. Looks like NAS is pulling back a bit. But nevertheless, let's see NAS. Yeah, so NAS kind of pulled back a bit. On here. So as you can see, it looks like this NAS went to the 200 moving average and is coming back down. So currently in profit, I'll just put my break even there just to protect that position. So I've just moved my stop loss above my entry into break even. If we decide to come down further, it will tap me out in profit rather than taking me into negative. Yes, the US 30 is kind of holding above the 50 EMA. Hopefully it pushes its way through from there. So this black line we see here, it's also a key level, the 38350 key level. So I hope it will not stop it from going up. We want it to move up, go all the way back to where it came from, then we'll be smiling to the bank. But that is our expectation, but it might not happen. So whatever it gives us, we will take it. Whatever it gives us, we will take it. So NAS is kind of pulling back kind of thing. NAS. Yeah, so NAS is pulled all the way back, so it's taking me out already. But nevertheless, it was all in profit. So this 200 moving average there, price came to test it, touched it and pushed down and came near to it. It couldn't beat the previous record. That could suggest that it hasn't finished its downwards move. So if you are in it already and you haven't taken the profit it gave us, you have to be wary of it. Just be careful with it. So we have the 50 moving average here as well. So Let's see if the price will be held up by the 50. If not, it could shoot downward again. But if it holds in between here, it could push up again. Let's go to US 30. So US 30 is currently being held above the previous high. It broke above the previous high and is being held up above it. So hopefully it pushes through this level and goes up further. So if you are in profit on this trade, just move your stop loss to break even. In case something else happens, you are covered. In case of any other thing, you are covered. Okay, Trisha said she did the US 30. Yeah, that's good. At least that one is behaving itself at the moment, holding up and pushing up little by little. Pushing it up little by little. For some reason, I don't know, this on trading view, this is where this key level gives me, but on my trading platform the key level is below here, below this where price, below the 50 moving average. It's just on the, yeah, just below the 50 moving average. But on trading view here, it's the 38550 happens to be above. That's a bit strange. It should all be the same, so I don't know why that is. I don't know why that is. So at this point in time, I'll push my stop loss a little bit up, just below where its price was held up, just below there. Yeah, it's looking good. It's looking good. Looks like NAS is also turning around. NAS is also turning around there. This last purple candle has been taken out by this one, so I might just put in another position. I'll put in another position. My stop loss will go below here. Yeah. So guys, you can all see how we've taken these trades near the moving averages, near, even though you can see it's somehow below, but it is in an uptrend, and this was a pullback, and when there's a crossover we expect a pullback. So all this happens to be the pullback if it works out the way we anticipated. If not, that will be okay, because we just follow the process. But now it's kind of playing out a bit. Let's look at US 30. Yeah, US 30 is pushing up gradually pushing up. I hope we have all covered our position. If you entered this US 30 trade, just move your stop loss above your entry to make the trade a risk-free trade. Yeah. So I think it's better we having the sessions at this time than before the market opens. This time onwards, the market is much calmer, that we can get our entries in and then take some profit out. So in terms of taking profits, this happens to be one area. Let me put a ray there. This happens to be an area where price got there and stopped. Price went up, came below the area, pushed up, and then stopped at this level before it dropped here. So there's a high chance that price will have some issues just crossing it through like that. But we hope, because we are in profit, we are hoping it goes on and on and on. Yeah. So that's the only time you have to hope. When you are in profit, that's the only time you hope, and then you leave your wings to run. When you are in negative and you didn't put your stop loss, don't stay in negative and then you'll be hoping. No. So that fear that makes you takes your profits when you are in profit. That fear that grips you to close your trade early. Reverse it. Take that fear to when you are in minus, then you will fear to close your trade. When you are in minus, you fear. So that fear will cause you to close your trade. That's because if you don't close it, it could end up going on in a bigger loss. But when you are in profits, then that is where you hope. You put your hopes high, and then you expect it to run and run and run. But with that said, you have to guard your trade, because sometimes we have big expectations. It might not work out that way, so we have to be very careful. Now seems to be not to be working as we want it to. It goes up a bit, comes back down. So as I said, it seems this area happens to be a troublesome area. So we can see the doji that has formed there, and since then price is turning around. So it could be an area you can take your profits before it goes down so much, or if you've covered yourself and you still want to hold it, You can hold it and see what happens. If it really wants to go up, it might pull back a little bit and then turn around and go. Okay, now it's 10, it's reverse is moved and it's turning up again, whilst US 30 is turning around. So those who took the trades, are we all in profits? Those of us who took the trade, are we all in profits? Let me know. Looks like NAS is pulling back more compared to US 30. So okay. Oh, whoa, it's already 4:30. Wow. Time runs so quick. Time runs so quick. So quick. Yeah. So looks like US 30 has turned around with some power. At least you should give us that power you used to push down when the news came. You should give us part of that power to push up, so that we will not employ anyone to blow it with their mouth. Blow the price to go up with the mouth. Guys, are you loving this? Share some love on the chats. Are you loving this? If you're loving it, share some love on the chats. Let it bubble a little bit. Thank you. Thank you. So this is what happened yesterday. During our live session, there wasn't any better move. Thank you, but there wasn't any better move. So it was after we finished, after the market opened, that's where the move started. That's why I took some trade and I was showing it on the group. So now we are doing it together. We are doing it together. We are doing it together. So as I said, this area of support now acting as resistance is keeping price here. It's kind of keeping price here. So if you are okay, you can take your profit here. You don't have to wait. But if it's you can wait. We don't know what will happen anyway. So we don't know what will happen, if price will turn around and push down, or it will find its way up somehow. We don't know. So that decision is your own. Welcome, Esther. Welcome. Nice to have you on board. Welcome, Molly. So the best thing is, once you are in profit and price has moved a little bit above your entry, just move your stop loss to break even, and that way you are protected. I think NAS has now turned around, pushing higher now, so it's all looking good on both sides. But I believe I have been kicked out on the NAS, as I can see. It looks like NAS is pushing up with some power, you know. NAS is pushing up with some power. Yeah, so we can see how the 20 moving average has turned arching up. The 20 moving average has turned arching up. So it could go in for some move. Yes, I didn't catch this move, but this might be the secondary move that's on, which we can enjoy. So now I think we need some volunteers. We need some volunteers to blow US 30 with their mouth. Blow it past this level. Who volunteer? Yeah, let's have some fun whilst we make money. So guys, exactly as that video I made on YouTube about picking bottoms in the markets, this is the exact perfect picture of it. Price got to this level, pushed up above the moving average, and got held up by the moving average. and then from there the rest you can all see. You can see what the result is. So even if you got in here and then you took up to here to get out, it's still money. It still made some profit. It still made some profit, but as we're just waiting to see if our price will push up above this area. That would be great. That would be great for us. So technically, this is another area for adding to your position where the last purple candle has been positioned, but because of this resistance level here, sometimes you just have to be a little bit cautious in terms of where you add on. You just have to be a little bit cautious. Okay, it looks like US 30 is pulling back, NAS is pulling back. Yeah, as I said, if you're okay, you are in good profit, you can take your profit at this level. Or if you are okay to hold, you can hold as well. Where is Esther? Esther, should we hold on or take our profits? Esther like to hold. Yeah, sometimes you just have to be patient and then just hold it through. Hold it through. Hold it through. Hold it through. And you'll be fine. Esther said she's holding. Yeah, I'm holding as well. I'm holding as well. So if you are holding, just move your stop loss above your entry. Then you know you are in a risk-free trade. Stop loss above your entry to ensure that you are in a risk-free trade. Okay, let's holding at this level. I might just take my profit if it's decide to push any further. because US 30 sometimes it can go up and then come all the way back, grab everything off you. So we know its tricks. Yeah, and I hope this pullback is to come to get some power to push out, to push through to the next level. But once it gets out of here, I believe it will run quite nicely, but not until that happens. We are still wary of it pulling back. So it's kind of pushing back quite a bit. US 30, that it's pulled back, came to the moving average. So on US 30, this is when we have had the crossover. The blue line, the blue moving average, 20 moving average has just crossed over the yellow one. So I hope that is the pullback, this one here, because the crossover happened here. So I hope that is the pullback we are seeing here. So if that is the pullback, then we expect another push up after this pullback. That is what is happening as we can see it now. So it crossed over here when price was here. So it is after this crossover that we are seeing this pullback. So this pullback is coming with understanding of us knowing that when we see a crossover like this, the next thing we expect is a pullback to the moving average. A pullback to the moving average. But as to exactly where and when it will pull back onto, we don't know. But we know that it will somehow pull back near the moving average or close to it. So we do this with understanding. We do this with understanding. So everything that is happening, almost of the things that is happening on the charts, you should have the understanding of it, why it is happening. If price go and get to a certain level and turn round, if it turns round, if you look left, you realize that in the past that area happens to be an area of support. In the same way, where price is being halted here, if we look left, we can see that price halted here, price used here as support when it was coming from up, and now it's trying to go up, and it's now that same area is acting as resistance area. So we should use this understanding in our trading all the time. We use this understanding in our trading all the time. So whenever you are alone trading by yourself, these things should be playing in your mind. Should be playing in your mind. So that will help you also to make the right decision, where to take your profits, where to enter, and whole lots. Yeah. So those in NAS, yeah, I mean NAS on my other screen anyway. So yeah, NAS is still below the 200 moving average. So we are expecting NAS to pull above it or push above it and then continue its initial move here. So currently the 200 moving average area seems to be an area of resistance. it's acting as an area of resistance. So we'll wait and see what happens. So as I said again, guys, let's try as much as possible to avoid trading during news time. Avoid trading during news time unless you know exactly what is going to happen, where price is going to move. Then you can take advantage of it. But if not, it's better you stay away than getting caught up in any kind of thing. Nice, push up, push up, push up, push up. $17,566. Okay. 17,566. Oh, okay. So Esther, you got in quite early. You got in at 17,560, somewhere down here, when the move started. Well done, well done, well done. I think by that time we were getting to preparing ourselves to get in the groove. That's when we had just started, so we couldn't go there early enough to see what was happening there. Yeah, now it's kind of cooling back a bit. Yeah, so you getting in at this level, all this is kind of not a big issue to you. If you are not close, your entry is not close there. But in a situation where your entry is close by, that's where So it looks like the downtrend continues. The downtrend continues. Now it's pulling down. US 30 pulling down. Alright, thank you everyone. So I wish you all the best. Just trade safe, and just take care as you trade. Thank you so much, and then we'll hear again later. You're welcome, Esther. Yeah, I think the US 30 got kicked out on the break-even stop, whereas NAS is kind of holding on to. Okay, alright guys, all the best. Ciao. See you.